Thanks for tuning in to the Marvel Movie Minute.
Want to skip those pesky ads and get early access?
Become a member at truestory.fm/join and discover all the other great perks that come with it.
Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a weekly podcast in which we assemble to explore the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe 5 minutes at a time. In this, our 9th season, we are looking at Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I'm Pete Wright.
I am Fox Matthew.
I am Kyle Olson.
And today we're talking about minutes 101 through 105, which begins with finding some bad guys we were looking for and ends with Bucky doing Bucky. All right, we're back. We're here. We're in some fighty-fighty moments, fighty-fighty cross-cutting moments, and also happens to be, I think, one of the seminal moments for the next era of MCU. Who knew it was going to be buried in these 5 minutes?
Whoa.
What do you think?
Bold statement.
It is a
I hope
bold
you have the
statement.
facts to back it up.
I hope so, too. Dear God, I hope I do.
So,
where do we stand?
I want to ask a question. If I can go back to actually something from last week, just a bit.
That was a long time ago.
Because to me, there's so many things I love about this movie. And this scene has a little bit of what I'm about to talk about, but it's mostly in the last 5 minutes. I wish that the loyal S.H.I.E.L.D. people weren't quite so thoroughly raffle-stomped. Like, every time you see the people being like, okay, no, Cap called us, we're going to we're going to stand up and join Cap, they're immediately wiped out, whether it's by insight or by, in this time, Bucky. Is that a thing that either of you have thought about?
Well, I definitely thought about it in these 5 minutes because it's super obvious what's happening right now, and it's unpleasant for these poor guys.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it as part of these minutes. I'm just going to go on record as like, I wish there had been a little bit more effectiveness from because it kind of looks like S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Seven Dwarves. I mean, Cap and the Seven Dwarves.
Cap and the Seven Dwarves.
I'm upset. I wanted England to win. Anyway,
a little bit. Okay, so where we begin these minutes with there's some rolling and punching and fighting. It's in situ with Cap in the middle of a fight on the deck of the Insight. And then is there anything of particular note in this roll and
I see just between here and later on in 102, I felt so happy for Cap because he finally got to do the fighting he was trained for. Like, this is proper World War II guys with guns, and he gets to run and jump and punch and throw the shield. He must have been like,
he does look
muscle
giddy.
memory. Like, no space gods, no, robots. Like, it's just like, good old fashioned just people with guns trying to kill me. Boy, it takes me back.
He is a fighter. He's been dragged kicking and screaming into multi-classing into Rogue. He did not like it. And now he's like, no more sneak. I'm not rolling sneak again for the rest of this movie. I'm just being a fighter.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, exactly.
It's pretty great, that part.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's very great.
And I would say, just while we're talking about that, Falcon's doing Falcon too, right? Like, there's some awesome flight effect going on here. And one of the things that I don't recall in other minutes, certainly in later movies, he has like handles on these wings. There are moments in this movie where his arms are outstretched and he's holding onto them like a glider. And we just finished watching. We watched Captain America and the Winter Soldier again, and just finished it last week.
That's this movie.
I mean, not that. I mean, wait. It was Falcon and Winter Soldier. Everybody gets a Winter Soldier buddy up, and his wing moves are just now completely automated, right?
Yeah.
And this one, I kind of like the tactile nature of him. I kind of can't get over you calling me out on, wait, that's this movie. I can't let that out of my head because now I'm very confused by titles. I like the tactile feeling of him using the wings with his arms. I think that's a very cool addition.
Here's a reference you didn't expect to happen. It's very Condorman. Yes, that's right. I brought up the live action Disney movie that I adored as a kid and was completely lost to history.
Please,
Condorman.
Please give us just a brief pressy on Condorman, because that is new to me.
Condorman, I believe it is actually.
Yeah.
Condorman is first of all is starring the Phantom of the Opera himself. It is from. 1980. Yeah, Michael Crawford. I'm saying Michael Crawford as the lead girl. The premise of it is that he is a comic book creator who is then contacted by the government, who wants to make his thing real to stop an evil supervillain. So he actually, it's basically like, what if Bob Kane got to be Batman or whatever? It's so he actually really gets the full treatment. He gets the full, and it's Condorman, so he has a full glider suit with wings and everything, and it is 80s-tastic.
So wait a minute. I'm trying to stay up to date with the kids' lingo, and I've recently learned a new term. Is this a decom?
Yeah, Sam, I'm too old for that. So what is what is a decom?
I'm a Disney Channel original movie.
No, it is not. It was actually it was a theatrical released movie. It came out in theaters at the time that everything Disney touched turned to crap.
Wow.
It was like at the time of like, Apple Dumpling Gang, and it was sort of in that Disney when they when they just could not find a hit to save their lives.
What was Condorman's ability? Because what I know of condors is they soar.
It's much more. He was much more Batman, where basically he was just a guy and he had a suit and he had a cool car and cool gadgets. It was more like I guess Roger Moore Bond was a big influence on it.
So he must have been fighting like the Russians. It was a KGB kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a whole exciting chase sequence with the Condor Mobile and a bunch of really cool black Porsches.
And he could soar in the air.
He could soar. Yeah, he had a full glider pack just like this that would extend all the way out.
Okay.
So I think that was it. But getting back to what your actual point was.
Yeah, I'm relieved that we had that sidebar, though, just for the record.
And I believe it is streaming. I mean, I have the DVD of it, but
I believe it's
streaming on Disney
DVD.
Plus. Of course, I own the DVD. I had to join the Disney Movie Club when that was still a thing to get it, because that was the only way it was available.
Wow. Commitment. All right.
So, I think at this point they were still trying to sort of explain how the things worked, because you have that thing, but by the time even later in this fight, we have no idea how he actually controls these wings, because they're turning and they're flying, and he spins around in midair and is firing both guns. If he's hovering and flying, then who's flying the wings? It sort of just becomes that don't think about it too much. It's just cool.
It's okay. They've earned their wizards. It's okay.
And I'm actually going to give what I think is a pretty good in plot explanation for it, because at this point, this is an air rescue device.
Mm-hmm.
It is not an offensive weapon. It is meant to get into enemy territory, to find people, help get them out, etc. And so, although I don't really know how he carries someone out if he has to use the hands, but moving past that, maybe he marks them for the helicopter to come later. Who knows? The point being, it makes sense that there aren't weapons attached to it. So it is such, if he wants to use weapons, he's got to hold them in his hands. And then at a later point, Tony Stark takes a look at this and goes, okay, well, that's fun what the Army did. Let me kind of make 3.0. And that's when the wings become mentally controlled, or controlled by his left testicle, or whatever the hell Stark, does to make. So given that this is just something he literally stole from the Army, the fact that it is lower tech than it is in later movies, I think actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do too.
Yeah.
And that it just highlights that Sam is just the ordinary man again. He's just wings and some pararescue training, and he's flying towards some very big bullets, because that's just what he does, right? He's not dead yet. And I have a great affinity for this Sam Wilson. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially that it turns out that they do have air defenses, but they're not designed for something that small.
Right.
They were meant to shoot down, other Quinjets or helicopters or something too. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and in this moment, I think also we've talked a lot about sidekicks over in superhero ethics. It's something I've thought a lot about, and I think a bad sidekick is someone who does all the same things that our hero does, but not quite as well.
Yes.
A really good sidekick is someone who, like, the superhero can do 80% of things awesome, and the sidekick fills in that other 20%. And I think this scene especially is a really good illustration where, yeah, Cap can do all sorts of crazy combat things. He cannot get from one of these helicarriers to another unless they're perfectly positioned without the help of someone who can fly. And so I think it's a great use of the sidekick as someone who is not as powered, but has a distinctly different set of powers that are highly relevant to what Cap needs.
Yeah,
that's a really good point.
If this had been like Cap and Red Guardian,
yes,
then it really wouldn't work because they're both like they're just be standing next to each other. Like, oh,
yeah, it's a buddy movie, not a sidekick movie.
Yes,
yeah, okay. After some of the early punchy, fighty-fighty bits, we do go back in and have a very elegant conversation with Pierce and the commissioners. And there's champagne poured, champagne tossed, and Commissioner Singh gets his one line with a bullet. Not if it's your switch. And then he's done. And that was it. Nice line, if you can get it.
Mm-hmm. So we go back to this thing of Pierce and like questioning thing is because right now things are a little bit dicey for the plan. So when he's doing his whole pitch, how sincere do we think he actually is being? As like he really trying to see like, so how about Hydra? Have we considered Hydra? Anybody thought about Hydra?
When I saw this movie, I thought, come on, no one really thinks like that. Today,
yeah,
my opinion has been changed. Especially because to me, I know, Pete, why you love that line of, not if it's your switch, and I agree with that. But to me, there's another whole part of what he is saying, which is that not only because he says, now, what if we could just stop all these people from doing all these things? What he doesn't mention is by murdering them.
Yeah.
Although it's clear intent. And the idea that it would be if someone's going to do something bad, do you go directly to killing? Do not pass go. Do not pass arresting them. Just go directly to shooting. Again, not to make it about the real world too much, but like in our own world, that's actually a debate we're having right now, about like how quickly can we start using lethal force as part of law enforcement or ICE or whatever it is. And so to me, this idea of like 10 years ago, I would have said this is complete nonsense. Today, I'm like, no, actually, I believe that I would have thought before that no human would actually think like this. Now I see a lot who do. So it is, to me, totally believable that he is like someone like Gurlo. No, what's the name of the guy who's the head of Insight? He becomes Crossbones.
Oh yeah. Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo is the actor. Yeah.
He just wants power. I don't think he cares about anything else.
Oh yeah. Brock is just like all about like, just give me the paycheck. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I think Pierce genuinely believes he is making the world a better place by doing this.
That I think is the open question though. For me, I don't know if I can tell because he is Hydra, right? Like, is his, because there are 2 points. One, I take your point absolutely, and I think the line, not if it's your switch, works in the context of this scene because it's a one-off. But the line should be, we don't want this switch. Humanity doesn't want this switch. And that's the line that would have completed the sort of the other side. The implication of not if it's your switch is there is a switch and somebody else should control it, and that's not great.
Well, it's not great, but I think it's realistic.
Yes,
because remember,
I totally agree.
This is the same council that said we're willing to nuke New York to save the world. Which, a totally different question. I don't think is a crazy decision by them, but I think for the people who are willing to do that, I believe they would say, we don't hate this switch exists.
We need a switch.
We, the council, instead of one individual person.
Right. Absolutely. And the other side of this point is is pierce someone on the side of his fervent belief in doing good. And I'm not convinced that that's true. I think he is Hydra, and that's the gambit because the movie cast Robert Redford. And so we're meant to question that ideology, I think, that perspective. And for me, I am constantly on the fence because I look at his Robert Redford face and I think he would never. But really, he's Hydra. We're to believe that they are evil, capital E. And I think he's standing for evil. This feels to me like he's still a part of the of trying to convert the council, who will convert to Hydra.
I guess maybe that this just comes down to how we see Hydra and how we see villains. Because to me, and granted, the MCU, including TV, has defined what Hydra's actual goals are 80 million times, and none of them make sense with each other. So Hydra can be whatever the hell we want it to be.
Yeah.
But like when I say he thinks he's doing good, to me Hitler qualifies. To me Stalin qualifies. Like, so I guess there's some level where I just don't believe that the Grillos of the world can actually ever raise that much power. I think you have to have some belief that what you are, in order to get others to follow you.
Yeah.
So I guess to me, that's where I come down is like, yeah, I think his goals are completely evil, but I do think, and maybe here's the middle ground. I think that if you start off by saying, I know how to make the world a better place, the preservation of you and your power is justified because it makes the world a better place. And eventually it just becomes the continuation of you and your power. And so maybe that's the kind of middle ground there, because it may just be that he wants the power for himself and he is lying to himself and telling himself that he's doing it for the right reasons. But I think if you put Wonder Woman's lasso of truth on him and said, do you really think this will make the world better as you understand it? I do think he would say yes.
Because as you understand it implies, because I will have a consistently growing power base in this world order.
Yeah.
All right. I buy it. Yeah. I buy it. Yeah. We do get the punchline to the joke that was started in a deleted scene.
That's right. Because suddenly one of the council members has some pretty serious kicky punchy powers.
She's pretty good, right?
When the to all of the movie going audience, the photostatic veil is like apparently this thing that Black Widow has this whole time. Why didn't she use it when they were on the run? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But she has the cool thing where she peels it away, and it turns out Natasha Romanoff has been in there the whole time, waiting for her moment to strike.
The whole time, meaning from when the council arrived at the facility, right? Like,
yeah, because if I remember back, that scene happened right around the same time that Cap was on the other side of the Potomac, and that was where the four of them were there. And you're like, hey, what happened to Black Widow? And it turns out Black Widow was already in the lobby.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have two questions here. One, I'll ask you actually one at a time. First, I would have called this the face changey thingy, but you used a much more official title, photostatic veil.
Yeah.
Does that mean this is a thing that exists in the comic books? This is a technology that the Russos made up?
Yeah, it's from the deleted scene. So yeah, it was created for the movie.
Oh, okay, but that's where they name it.
That's where it came from. Yeah, yeah. And because it's literally like the box is labeled that in the deleted scene.
Got it.
Photostatic veil.
Because I was like, that's quite a difference if I just call it the thingy and you have a whole thing. But the real question, I guess, is what happened to the woman that Natasha's impersonating?
A good question.
Wouldn't it be great if Natasha killed her?
Yeah. I mean, well, if she knocked her out like anywhere in the vicinity of the Triskelion, I don't think she made it out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If she's in a janitor's closet or whatever, I don't think she walks away like, whoo, what happened?
Dusting off. Well, I guess she's just wearing a slip because Natasha also stole her fancy blue suit.
Yes.
And so Natasha has gone full Jenny Agutter, and it's awesome. There's some good fighty-fighty, punchy here too, and then we get the dump, the data dump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she gets to have, once again, Natasha gets to have that cool line. I'm sorry, did I step on your moment? Like,
except I remember it as, I'm sorry, did I step on your moment? A+. Then I rewatched it and I remember it's, I'm sorry, 20 seconds of removing the photostatic veil. Now that I've stepped on my own moment, can I ask if I stepped on your moment? Like, I'm picking nits, but to me, that's like, come on, guys. Let her say the line all at once.
It intercuts here, and of course the intercutting is perfect thriller pacing for the movie because we intercut between Cap, we intercut between Falcon, we intercut back into the Triskelion, into the council room, and just in the spirit of continuation of this scene, we jump away and now we're back, and Councilman Rockwell says, "What are you doing?" And Pierce says she's disabling security protocols and dumping all the secrets onto the internet. Natasha says, including Hydra's. Pierce says, and shields. If you do this, none of your past is going to remain hidden. Are you sure you're ready for the world to see you as you really are? And she says, are you? Big moment. Big moment for...
Right before that, she hesitates, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's just that actually, like, she stops typing. So she literally then is running through her head. Like, am I ready for... She's already ahead of him. Like, he's still trying to do his pitch. But, yeah, she really has that second of, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm about to be exposed to the world.
Right. And this is my pitch, that this is where this moment, this 5 minutes is where S.H.I.E.L.D. dies, right? This data dump is the grand reset. It's the grand informational EMP that resets all expectations about what S.H.I.E.L.D. is, what Hydra is. Everything is reset. And that changes the entire board before Ultron, before Fury goes dark, like the works. Everything changes in these 5 minutes right here in the Triskelion. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if this was part of Cap's plan. Like, was this always what it was going to be? Because he says that when they're in the base, it all goes.
Yeah,
and
because
so
remember the last time Cap was busy and Natasha was doing something, they were on the boat in the beginning, like 1,000 minutes ago, and she was doing something on her own.
That's right.
It's a great question.
The exact opposite thing. She was hiding S.H.I.E.L.D. secrets.
Right.
And also, I mean, I think it is very clear, Pete, that what you're saying is correct. And in one of the few moments where Marvel movies and Marvel TV shows have been well coordinated.
Yes.
Yeah. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. literally, like, there are 3 episodes where you see the build up to this movie and then the aftermath of this movie. And I think it is a level of integration of the two stories that has never been matched. But I to me, it is absolutely clear that before they wrote the first word of dialogue of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they knew what the plot of this movie was going to be, because the whole setup was that by the end of season 1, they are the only remnants of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore. They're on the run and they're trying to rebuild S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's definitely true, and I think that was very intentional.
Apparently, there was, according to I think the MCU, the book that came out recently, it was a big surprise to the showrunners.
Oh, really?
They were
Okay.
like up and running, and they had, like, I think they had done like maybe the first season and maybe into the second season, and then Marvel Brass sat them down and said, so we're destroying S.H.I.E.L.D. And they went, our show's called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're like, so yeah, you're gonna have to figure that out. Bye.
But never mind. I think the story is, I think the result is the same, and the story is even better because it's one of the great narrative pivots that the showrunners of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. accomplished, because it feels exactly like you described it. It feels perfectly aligned between these two things.
And to be clear, it was in the first season. It's between.
Oh, was it? Okay.
The movie takes place between the episodes 16 and 17.
Okay.
I want to go back and watch those 2 episodes again.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. It was
actually,
really solid.
the one actually that tied, I don't know if you guys talked about it much on Dark World, but the one that ties into Dark World, like that storyline is really good.
Yeah.
Like that, where they find there's another Asgardian living on Earth. And it's Peter McNichol.
Right.
It's such a great arc. I give a lot of props to those guys.
Lady Sif was the first movie character to appear in a Marvel TV show.
And then eventually even Nick Fury would show up on the show. I mean, as a time, it was always downstream. That's why I'm reading from the people who were working behind the scenes. Like, they would say, hey, would you mind putting this in their movie? And Marvel would just never take their calls.
Right.
So it was
and
always
yet
like
they would lob these giant storylines, shoehorn this into your 23 episodes.
It was a Herculean task. So I give it up to the showrunners and writers and producers of that show who had to do the impossible. And I think they did very well for what they were allowed to do and the budget they were given in the time frame.
It's too bad that in later seasons that ends, and like the end of the show does not line up with Endgame in the way it should.
However, if you are a Shield fan, there is a really cool fan edit that someone did in the style of the end of Endgame for all the Agents of Shield characters, where they have like their signatures up on there and they have like the big thing. It's really, really nice. It's like this is the proper send off that they should have had.
What is the name of the book that you're mentioning?
MCU how the something. Let's see.
Okay. Well, Pete, if you're okay with it, we will put the title of that book in the show notes along with a link so that when you purchase
MCU, the Reign of Marvel Studios.
Got it.
We'll have a link in the show notes, and that way it'll also be one where you can support the podcast a little bit.
Yep, for sure. We're talking about the death of S.H.I.E.L.D., and S.H.I.E.L.D. is dead because of the data dump. And we're getting close to the end of our minutes, but not before. We do have the Raffle Stomp good guy bit. And they actually say out loud, to highlight how terrible the moment is, we're the only air support Cap's got.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if I was Falcon, I'd be a little annoyed by. Just going to say.
Like, I'm right here.
Yeah, it's not a great look as they march out toward their Quinjets, and then
it's almost
Bucky
like being on
here.
a Star Trek away team and saying, "Captain, I found something." Like, it's not going to end well for you.
No, it does not end well. And we do have, of course, the stomping by Bucky. What we haven't talked about yet is this is the execution of the ultimate technology swap. Right. And I wonder if we need to spend just a few moments trying to discern what exactly is happening that Cap and Sam are trying to accomplish hopping from carrier to carrier.
Yes. So, when they talked about it, they said that all three carriers have to be connected in order to stop it. Because if one goes off, then you're still going into the catastrophic numbers of millions of people dead because of the space guns. So they have to go in, and they call them servers, but like they have to basically put in those blades into the control things of this, because it's all being run remotely. Like I got the impression that the people who are like on the ships aren't actually the ones who are controlling it. Like, I think the plan was originally to have I don't know, Pierce directly, but maybe even Zola like actually running it before everything changed, like because it's all sort of controlled from the ground. So the idea is to have the different command codes so that Maria can be the one controlling them and not them, and they have to. Then all three have to stop. So then but it's still, there's a numbers game here where it's like 3 helicarriers. 2 people actively trying to put the blades in. So I guess they were hoping they would, be able to team up and do that third one. But that, unfortunately, spoiler alert, is not what's going to happen.
So the actual server blades, it's as you might expect. It's a lit up tray where they put the card in the slot and put it back in. This movie came out in 2014. In 2016, Rogue One comes out, and don't we have a very similar interface in a galaxy far, far away?
Yeah. I get that. I'm glad they didn't try to have them like putting in a thumb drive. Like, we already saw the S.H.I.E.L.D. thumb drive. The idea of like turning it and then flipping it over and then putting it in, then flipping it back and then putting it no, I like the big handheld clunk that when it puts it in.
I'll say something both positive and negative. In defense positively of Rogue One, they were trying to justify explanations of the technology that was just that was like the 1970s idea of what technology a long time ago, Galaxy Far Away could have been. So I kind of have, I'm kind of okay that they didn't imagine, wireless transference of huge amounts of data. On the other hand, the Rogue One data thing and this thing both have the same odd little quibble. They're open air.
They're open air. And the Rogue One is on a salty water planet. Like, tell me those aren't just rotting.
Yeah,
at least it didn't hit the way Scarlett Johansson's other USB movie hit, Lucy, where she turns into a USB thumb drive. That's right. I said it. It's a terrible movie.
Ooh, strong stance. You have any thoughts on Ghost in the Shell?
Don't even start.
Cultural appropriation?
Don't even start.
Should have been an Asian actress.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no, I think in both cases, I think, the idea that it is so unguarded, so easily accessible, it's not locked deep in the bowels of the ship, is quite ridiculous, but is necessary for the plot. So,
at least we don't have a big red countdown clock anywhere.
Oh wait, we breezed through the raffle stomp thing, and so we didn't actually get to ask my question that I was going to ask at the beginning. But
my question is, what is a raffle stomp?
Oh, ROF. I like that Pete just quoted my term without
because you've already educated me on it before.
Yeah, it's ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing. So to stomp someone in a way that is so over the top that it makes people laugh. To like, I didn't just beat you up. People laugh about how much I beat you up. I raffle stomped you.
Okay. It's a term. It's a term the kids are using.
It comes out of gamer culture. I have, I don't think I've ever used it in actual that phrase, but there it is. But to me, I guess I'm just here. The main question I'm asking is, do you think the movie would have been better in this one small way if the people who stand up with Cap had actually been effectual in any way, shape, or form? And to me, this is a bad example. The even worse example is the two guards pull out their guns first, are pointing the guns at Insight and ready to take action because Cap told them to, and then somehow Insight pulls out their guns and mows them down before they can do anything. And of course, then we get other scenes where like Abed tries to stand up and gets just knocked over immediately. It's a small quibble, but I'm wondering if I'm alone on this island of thinking like I wish the Shield people had done something a little bit more helpful.
Well, yeah, the fact that just in these 5 minutes, all help from Shield is disabled. Like just that fast. Just I guess it's raising the stakes. I guess it's focusing the action back on our heroes. But it does seem like, what were you guys? You guys are trained agents. Right. Like I know that you probably had coffee with this guy before, see him in the hallway and stuff too. But it seems like a spy organization would be a lot quicker to be able to respond to a chaotic situation like this, and everybody just gets wiped out. Fast.
Everybody else on the deck is running hither and yon, and these guys are taking their sweet time. It doesn't make S.H.I.E.L.D. look great. But the other problem I have with it is Cap just gave this resounding
That's exactly my point.
Right?
Yeah.
And what this implies is there are exactly 6 guys who are loyal to S.H.I.E.L.D. and now they're dead. Right?
Well, and my question is, if you cut out his giving the speech, does it affect the outcome of the movie in any way, shape, or form?
No.
And that's to me the disappointing part is he gives the great speech. And if we're saying one of his abilities is not only that he punches really good and he blocks bullets really good, but that he inspires people.
Well, I guess we did have the captain's orders moment before, where basically the guy wouldn't launch it because of that. So I mean, there was that.
There were 7 guys actually, and there were all the people who held up their guns.
Crew,
right?
But let's not forget that a pilot just can't just jump in a plane and go away. It has to be prepped. It has to be all this stuff. So all those guys were out there running around with the big headphones on.
But I stand by Matthew's point. It does make S.H.I.E.L.D. look deeply ineffectual.
Yeah.
Well, and my point is more even. It's not just that. It's like as you said. It's that I want there to be more because the people say Cap's orders, they don't get raffle stomped. They get stomped pretty quickly. I'm sitting in my chair as I'm laughing about that. But I just wish there was more of a payoff to Cap's speech.
Because I think it would have been better if we had had some sort of balance to the fight. Really, it's just Sam and Cap and Natasha against the powers of evil. And that, I think, is the point of a Captain America movie. And yet, I think it would have been made better had there been some allegiance to Cap.
But it's not. because think about the commando, the Howling Commandos. Like
Yeah.
part of in other movies,
Right.
Cap inspires people. He gets people to rise up and fight with him.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
All right.
as we were talking about Quinjets back in the day, you can see also here are the good Quinjets as opposed to the bad Quinjets, because when the ones that are chasing Falcon are all black and the ones these guys are running to are all white, and they're the ones that when Bucky shows up,
They get
he
blown
takes
up.
all those ones out. So because we know who are the good guys and bad guys. I guess this is the black hat, white hat thing. We don't want to make it any ambiguity. Like when it's like to make sure that when Falcon blows up a Quinjet, we know it's a bad Quinjet.
Yeah. They're not even parked in very cool places.
Yeah.
Like they're just parked in like the accessory lot.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they were planning to use them anytime
No,
soon.
they were all up
the
on
other ones
the-
are on the helicarriers,
Yeah.
the Insight carriers.
Sebastian Stan gets some good moves in, and we get he kicks a dude through a Quinjet rotor. Yeah.
Yeah. Very Lost season 1.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of the action plays, and that is pretty much the last thing that we get besides Bucky ripping the windshield plumb out of the frame of a Quinjet.
Yeah.
And that's how our minute comes to an end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know we talked a lot about Falcon stuff too, but like that last sequence, like that 104, is one of the best flying sequences, I would say, just in movie history. Like, I mean, it's got to be in the top 10. Like, just all the different moves and edits and stuff too, and then him turning into like the ball and smashing through. I mean, yeah, it's incredible.
Dodging the barrage of missiles that are chasing him and having them
bringing him
run
around.
into the all of that is outstanding.
Yeah.
Effects work, and it's very kinetic, and there's nothing that takes me out of the film, right? There's nothing that looks irrational. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure that was probably a CG, Sam.
Yeah.
But like, as we're going to see in the future of the MCU, like their digital figures have a long way to go. Still, it's very, very obvious when it is a full CG person. And here, you really can't tell.
Yeah. It does make me wonder, as kinetic as it looks, if it's just like that's the line of their compositing, that they had him on a blue screen flipping around on wires, and they composited him into all of these flippy dippy things. That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
Well, and also, I mean, a lot, because you want to capture his range of motion.
Yeah.
It's not big close-ups of him as he's doing
Right.
that. Mostly it's and I think that also helps that he's small enough in the frame that it's harder to see if it's, CGI or whatever it is.
It's good work. It's good work. And who knows what's going to happen next?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people know what's going to
No, we don't, because it doesn't exist until we talked about it on the Marvel Movie Minute.
the Andy Nelson rule.
It never dies. Never dies. We are going to be back as we get closer and closer to wrapping up this movie. Very exciting. It's very, very exciting. Any news or plugs of urgent things that you guys want to talk about as we wrap it up? Kyle, you got anything coming?
No, hopefully by the time people are hearing this, hopefully we'll have seen Spider-Man. So that's kind of cool. There's a new Spider-Man movie coming out.
Oh, why do his eyes turn black in the trailer?
I don't know. I'm terrified.
I'm a little
Please don't
nervous
let it be the
about that.
other.
There's a new Spider-Man movie coming out. There's a new Star Wars coming out. And there is a new co-host for Superhero Ethics. Paul Hoppy, longtime guest, recently published author of poker books, has officially joined Superhero Ethics as a co-host. Check us out. And, of course, check out Star Wars Generations podcast for where we will, by the time this comes out, be talking about the new Star Wars TV show, The Ninth Jedi.
Pete, I'm looking for some new reading material. Would you have anything that you could recommend to me? I like sort of middle grade.
Oh.
That kind of, like to think, sort of.
Let me go through my library. Oh, wait, Kyle, I have just the thing. That's right.
Oh, really?
I released my next book. It's called Onset Manifest Book 1. It is the first of a trilogy, and it is exactly that. It's a dark YA thriller crossover book. It's my first full-length novel. I'm very excited about it. And I will say with great admiration that my Aunt Mimi couldn't put it down. She read it in 2 days. She said it was fantastic, and then told me exactly what she wants to happen in book 2. So I can think of no higher praise from family.
Outline done.
As one of my favorite authors, JMS, John Michael Straczynski, often talks about, be careful, because now if you put any of those ideas into the book, your aunt can sue you.
Yeah, right.
So-
I know. Well, let me just say this. She was wrong about a lot of stuff that I have planned, so it's okay. Sorry, Mimi.
I'll also say, if you want to hear Pete talk about his writing, by the time this comes out, we'll have an episode on superhero ethics about the first book Pete published. He's really going slow. He took almost 3 months between publishing his first novella and then now publishing a novel. J.R.R. Martin, please take notes. George R.R. Martin, please take notes, I mean. But yeah, so there's an episode of Superhero Ethics where Pete will be talking about that book, the ethical choices in it, and probably giving a little preview of what Onset is to happen. The onset of Onset.
Thank you guys for the pitches. I very, very much appreciate it. And on behalf of everybody, Kyle Olson, Matthew Fox, I'm Pete Wright. We'll see you right here next week on the Marvel Movie Minute.
Enough said.